Hi, good day everyone. This is Teacher Josa, welcoming you all to our personal and philosophy class. For this week, our topics are all about career pathways, the new action plan for lasting success, and the meaning of life and death for dev and philo topics. So I will share with you three different books about career planning, lasting success, lasting success, and meaning of life and death. Okay, so I hope you will enjoy this video lesson. So let me share my screen. Okay, loading. Ayan. Oops. All right. All right. So this past few days, maybe, or you might asking yourself, am I satisfied with the person I have become? What really matters most to me? Am I living in harmony with what is most important to me? What has kept me from living in alignment with what is most important to me? What can I do now? What do I stop? What do I start? And what do I change? So majority of the content of this PowerPoint presentation or this video lesson is written by yan, Rajiv Diwan. So the book's title is Be, Do, and Live. So the author shared the vital few foundational philosophies and practices that will result in quantum progress across all areas of our personal and professional life. So for this week, you are going to watch 5 videos about career planning, lasting success, the definition of life, and death. So it's a combination of our personal development and the philo lessons. Okay, so let's start with the first slide. Okay, so the author shared to us this framework: be, do, and live. No, be, do, and live. First is create a compelling vision. Second is assess your reality. Third is reimagine your philosophy. And fourth is optimize your practice. Okay? For creating a compelling vision, here, the major questions are: what matters most to you and why? Who would you be if you could be anyone? What would you do if everything were possible? How would you live if you were writing your life script? How would you live if you only had limited time? I'll give you like 1 minute to reflect on these questions. Okay. Have you ever thought about how you'd like to be remembered? Have you ever considered what you want your legacy to be? I think it's fair to say that most of us don't really like to think about questions such as this. Why say so? Perhaps we don't like thinking about our own death. Maybe we don't see any value in asking and answering such questions. Or could it be that we believe that there are other more important things to focus on? No matter what the reasons are, reflecting on your mortality from time to time can serve a useful purpose. The author shared this wonderful quotation of Paulo. We are all walking towards death, but we never know death will touch us, and it's our duty, therefore, to look around us, to be grateful for each minute, but we should be grateful to death because it makes us about the importance of each decision we take or fail to take. It makes us stop doing anything that keeps us stuck in a category of living death. By even starting to think about how would you like to be remembered after you're gone, you begin to consider how you want to live while you're still here on earth. This reflection generates greater clarity about what's most important to you in the way you want to live. And having more clarity in the first essential step toward creating and sustaining a successful and fulfilling life. It's tragic that many people go through their lives being unaware of and or unaligned to what is most important to them and what they could consciously choose for themselves. So let's not add to this tragic statistic. Instead, let's do an exercise that is designed to help you get more clarity about your vision for your life. So first task is to create your own backseat at your funeral. So first, in your mind, fast forward to your own funeral. Imagine that you are present there. And as you attend the service, assume that no one can see you, obviously. But you can see, hear, and feel everything and everyone else. So picture this scene in your mind's eye as vividly as you can. And keeping this picture in mind, you need to answer the following questions. So kindly get scratch one piece of scratch paper or any pad paper to write your answer. So first question, who? Who specifically would you like to attend your funeral? Why did you pick the people that you did? What would you like people to say? Here in this part, these are the sub questions. When describing you, what words would you like people to use? What songs would best describe you? What specific achievements would you want to be known for? Of all the achievements, which three would mean the most to you? To describe how you live your life, what would you want people to say? Of everything that was said, what would make you feel that the most happy and fulfilled? And last is your message. What messages or message would you want to leave for your friends and family? I'll give you like 1 minute. Is that enough? All right. Mhm. How did you find this activity, this exercise? Was it easy or was it hard? For me, it's difficult. Did you experience any aha moments? What if anything became more obvious to you? Did you gain greater clarity about yourself and what you want your legacy to be? At the very least, I do hope that this hypothetical exercise got you to pause and reflect on the bigger picture. The fact is that we're all here for a definite or finite period of time. Finite period of time, limited time, no? So, what's next? What is a must for you to experience? What is a must for you to experience? Mhm. Like, 'di ba? Some people want to feel a hot summer day, witnessing a glorious sunset, holding a toddler in your arm, holding a toddler. Kakaisip ng baby, no? Enjoying a memorable kiss, watching fireworks in a beautiful setting, and other experiences. Okay? Yet, the puzzling and disappointing thing is that most people fail to experience what they really want in their lifetime because of these key reasons. lack of clarity. People don't take the time to define and then plan what they want to experience. They never consciously ask and answer the questions, what do you want to experience? And when do you want to experience it? Two, lack of urgency. Even they have this clear plan or clear in their own mind about what they want to experience, people tend to procrastinate. They adhere to the notion there's always tomorrow. I have other more important priorities right now. At this point, you might also be thinking of third reason, lack of resources like time, money, energy, and so on. For example, you may be asking, don't you need time and money to travel? Diba? Or yung resources natin. So for some reason, we can always find time and money for things that are important to us. Time and money are often convenient excuses for why we aren't experiencing something. However, more often than not, it's not lack of resources, but a lack of resourcefulness that gets in the way. So let's see this next slide. So, how to create your desired experience? So, kanina, naggumawa tayo ng backseat funeral. So, this time, you need to answer different questions, A, B, C, D. So, the solution is twofold. First, you need to be clear about what you want to experience. Second, attach a sense of urgency to creating your desired experiences. So, how do you do that? So, let me illustrate using the diagram below. So on the horizontal x-axis is the time. Yeah, the time left to live to create a sense of urgency. So the time. Okay? And then sa y-axis are the desired experiences. Next, may math. So letter D. If I only have 5 years to live, what else would I want to experience? If I only had 2 years to live, what else would I want to experience? B, if I only had 1 year to live, what else would I want to experience? And A, if I only had 3 months to live, what else would I want to experience? See? Diba? Kapag mas marami or mas mahaba ang time, parang ang dami pang pwedeng gawin. Pero kapag umiikli na, parang mas tinitignan mo na, ano ba yung priority? Ano ko ba gagawin? Given this limited time. This exercise may be simple, but it's not easy. This is because it forces you to think long and hard about what is most important for you to experience and then to prioritize your desired experience against an immovable deadline, your own immortality. But this exercise is definitely worth doing because it will give you both clarity and some sense of urgency. And when with increased clarity and urgency, you are more likely to take the actions necessary to create your desired experience. See? All right. So do you have a design for your life? There are two ways you can live your life. Living by design or living by default. When we say living by design, it's when you feel that you are the architect of your life, when you have a blueprint for your life, when you construct your life according to your blueprint. When we say living by default, your love or your life is at mercy of circumstances and the desire for other people. When you live by default, the best you can hope for is the moderate amount of success and fulfillment, and at worst, a continued sense of helplessness, frustration, and dissatisfaction. Living by design is the only real path to sustainable success and fulfillment. And therefore, for obvious reason, the author, Rajiv, recommended living by design. But for young adult, teenagers, of course, young people, we need to balance parents, teachers, and friends' advices of your of other people. We need to consider everything, no? Magkaiba yung selfish ka at puro ikaw lang ng ikaw yung masusunod sa you consider other people's wisdom and nakikita mo yung importance ng kanilang mga experiences. Okay? Kasi, of course, ang brain development ng teenagers ay, 'di ba, patuloy na nag-grow and yun, that's why we need parent consent and to think of our decisions, hindi lang para sa ating sarili. No, ang sinasabi ditong living by default, kontrolado ka na ng sitwasyon, like you feel hopeless na hanggang dun ka na lang. And lagi ka na lang lagi mo na lang iniisip na ma-please yung ibang tao. So that is living by default. So wag mo siyang ma-misinterpret sa hindi ko na i-obey yung parents ko, yung teachers ko, or yung friends ko. Hindi po. No? Sinasabi lang dito na you need to balance everything. You need to consider different factors before making a decision. Okay? So, architect of your life. So here's the guide questions. Here are the guide questions. Do you feel that you are in charge of your own life? Do you feel you consciously choose how you respond to people and events? Are you clear about your purpose in life? Do you have clarity about what lasting success means to you? Have you documented your purpose in life and what lasting success means to you? Do you choose your goal in line with your definition of lasting success? Are you being, doing, and living aligned with your life purpose? So please answer these questions. We'll give you like 1 minute to reflect. Ayan. Si ma'am, I have different journals sa pagsagot ng mga questions na yan. Okay? So having a blueprint for your life. Okay? So you may be wondering what exactly is a blueprint for my life. So let's answer this. Your blueprint is an articulation of two key elements. So first, your life purpose statement and the definition or your definition of lasting success. Okay? So here are the two key elements. For the life purpose statement, this is your articulation in words, sentence, pictures, paragraphs of what you believe you are here on this planet for. Example, to raise a family of world leaders pala, or to radiate God's love, presence, and playfulness in serving myself and other on our guided path. So you may be thinking, but I don't know what my life purpose is. How do I discover what it is? What if I don't get it right? Developing an LPS or life purpose statement is like going background, backward, backward. Like you need to see, okay, ito yung gusto kong maranasan. Ito yung legacy na gusto ko. Given the limited time, limited resources, and money, you don't need to write it perfectly. Kasi actually, sa paglipas ng panahon, pabago-bago yan. No? Example, si Ma'am Josa, I wrote sa aking yearbook nung ako ay high school, I want to be a successful businesswoman. 'Di ba? Pero ngayon din, I'm a teacher. So, pwedeng mabago. So, it's perfectly fine that you write your first draft, no? As of the moment and build on it later. From year by year, you need to check, nagbago ba yung purpose ko? Ito pa rin ba yung gusto ko? Okay? So, what are the most what are the some of the most important elements in your vision for life? What are some recurring patterns? And what elements of being, doing, and living are most important to you? Okay? So the purpose of my life is blank. Okay? So next, defining lasting success. Word success can mean different things to different people. For example, success is primarily about money. Example, like making $100 million a year. For others, success is principally about family, raising a loving family. For still others, success is foremost about spirituality, like developing and maintaining a high level of spirituality or connection with the Creator or with God. And for yet others, success is about all or none of the above. There's no right or wrong answer per se. So the problem arises when we use other people's definition of success to determine whether or not we are successful. To avoid this mistake, it's necessary to spell out in detail what lasting success means to you. Prior to doing so, review this. Define lasting success for all areas. Lasting success needs to be considered across all areas of life. From my perspective, for example, succeeding in a professional life at the expense of your relationship is not lasting success. That's why we do have in, di ba, in mental health, we do have a concept like wellness, meaning a balanced life. So, if you're going to define what lasting success means, you need to check it or you need to define it across all aspects like physical health and vitality, financial security and freedom, your career, your work, your studies, your mission, your business, intimate relationships, other relationships, emotional and mental health, role in the community, and spiritual life. You need to consider all these elements. Diba? Kasi very often success is defined in the context of doing only. Example, accomplishments and achievements. So that is very narrow definition of what success is all about. Diba? So again, we need to consider different elements. Okay? And then construct your life. You need to set your short-term and long-term goals. Okay? Step by step. Develop your monthly and weekly plans. What's your target? Aside from your monthly and weekly plans, don't forget, of course, your contingency plan. So, meaning, if this plan A fails, ano po yung next na gagawin ko? Okay. Next is consciously choose your daily habits of being, doing, and living. Okay? So, the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen nor even touched, but just felt in the heart, no? May mga bagay na hindi puwedeng i-quantify kaya nagpa-plan and then may contingency plan and you need to consciously choose your daily habits, no? Ginagawa mo talaga siya kasi alam mo bakit mo siya ginagawa, okay? So imagine that you have a magic wand able to constantly fulfill any of your desires. Example, you want to have more money. So what would you like this magic wand to give you? Okay, isa lang. So we're doing the 5 whys. Okay? So here, 'di ba? For example, you want to have more money. First question, why? Why do you want to have more money? Because, okay, after answering that, for example, you want to have more money, number one, why? Because I want a bigger house. And then question number two, why you want to have a bigger house? Because then after answering that, third question, why? For example, because you want to have a more space. Because, no, why? I want to have more space because I want to have a sense of freedom. Okay? So here, 'di ba? You understand that I understand that you find this exercise annoying kasi pero why? It's like below class talaga. It does not but it does serve a purpose. When you you've completed the exercise, I hope you'll come to some of the following conclusions. So this is according to the author. You are not after money for money's sake. Kung ano man yung wish ninyo, surface level, no? You are not after money for money's sake. Hindi mo lang gusto ng magandang bahay just for material thing. Number two, what you're after is what money can provide for. So yung another reason why do you want that thing or you want that wish. Number three, the real reason you want more money are revealed at the deeper level. Just like your wish, no? You have a deeper reason why you want it. Kaya napakahalaga ng wise, 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 and wise. Okay? Next is, what is your bag? What is your bag? So when we say bag, big, hairy, audacious goal. So it means successful vision. It's applicable on individual level or team level. So let me explain to you yung meaning ng identifying bag. BHAG. First is review. How would you like to be remembered? Your life purpose and statement. Your definition of lasting success. Number two, examine. Are set with understanding, not bravado. What you are deeply passionate about. What you could be best in the world. What drives your economic engine. Have a long time frame, 10 to 30 years. Or clear, compelling, and easy to achieve. Three, visualize. What is a great purpose that inspires you? What is the extraordinary project that's compelling to you? What are the some outrageous goals that you haven't even considered because they feel so impossible to achieve? Number four, you need to write and reflect and then select of all the goals you wrote in the previous step, select the one you excite you the most and at the same time scare you most. Big, hairy, audacious goal. Bag, no? Kaya nga, compelling. This is the last part of compelling visions. No, you need to review, examine, visualize, you need to write, and then you need to prioritize. That's why you're going to select. I think that's the end of number one, create a compelling vision. Next is assess your reality. So, to be continued. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope you enjoy the lesson. Bye!